G'day Carbonites, and welcome back to some more Ark Survival Evolved. Today's video is going to be all about the Taming Raft. It's sort of like an everything you need to know about the Taming Raft. I'm going to mainly cover the fundamentals behind it and leave all the creative stuff to you guys. So let's get started here. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with building in general as well. Okay, so what I like to do first is grab the foundation and just walk it right up to the wood trim here, line the edge of it up. So that'll ensure that your rotation is straight with the raft. Also, when you're doing K-mode building, if you're having trouble with it, you're most likely trying to place things too far away. If I say that's lined up correctly and we jump into K mode, notice that it's fucking miles away. And you can press crouch, which does bring it in closer, but as you can see, I would have to fall right off the back of the raft to bring it in close enough. So if that's happening to you, make sure you're in the standing position and then just walk forward and tilt your camera down at the ground, just to bring the object in closer to you. So now if we press K mode, it's still out in the middle of fucking nowhere, but if we press crouch, it brings it right into where we need it to be. So that should make it a lot easier. I can't even remember if that was lined up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But we're not going to actually place the foundation. We're going to switch over to the pillar. And we're going to walk back. Now this is fairly important. How far back you place this. If we place it like up here or up here, we can only get 2 foundations in front of the raft. And this build, it makes it a lot easier if you can get 3. So if we run that wooden trim right through the center of that pillar, and then make sure it's in the center of the raft, well, near enough anyway, that looks pretty good. We'll place that pillar there. We should actually be able to get 3 foundations in front of the raft there, which will make this build a lot easier. Okay, so the reason why I use a pillar instead of placing the foundation is purely for the time it saves. Look how low this foundation is compared to that one. So it's like halfway into the ground, and that's because it's snapped off this pillar here. So we can continue that. Obviously we can remove that pillar and place one inside that foundation. So this is foundation lowering. So what that does is, because the pillar's snapped to that foundation, it's actually sunk down a little bit and created a new snap point for us, which is a little bit lower than the last one. So if we remove the old snap points and create a new one in the lowered foundation, we get an even lower snap point, and we can just continue on, keep lowering it, but we're going to stop right here where the foundation is just sitting above the raft. If you have any of the raft poking through the foundation, it can actually be destroyed by whatever you're trying to tame. So make sure the foundation is covering the raft completely. So we can place our foundations. Now to extend the raft forward, we're going to use some thatch ceilings on the front there. And then if we jump down here, we can place more stone foundations underneath. And then we can keep going out as well. So we can do another row there. And we can even do one more row at the front, which will make it a lot easier later on. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this one as far forward as I possibly can, which is how I used to build them. And we'll see how much extra space we get. Okay, so as you can see, you can't get any more ceilings on there. So it's only 2 in front. So you get an extra half a foundation. That's alright. It's good. It's good. It all counts towards the end. Trust me, when you got a fucking Rex in there, you want to stay far away from that motherfucker as possible. Okay, so after you got your foundations in place, you can remove the thatch ceilings. I'm going to get rid of this because it's going to get in the way. Okay, so I leave that foundation out, and that's so you can drive it, because if you put a foundation there, you can't actually drive the raft, which is a little inconvenient on your mobile taming pen. Okay, so from there you can basically just walk around with thatch ceilings and see exactly how far you can go with it. You can make it as big as you want. Honestly, I think 5 wide is going to be big enough. You don't really need to go 7 wide. Okay, so you might want to extend out the back as well, and you can definitely do that, but I'm just going to show you what happens if you're too close to land. So you'll get the snap point, it'll light up green like it's going to place, but then it just crumbles straight away. So that's a good sign that you're too close to the shore. So if we just drive out into the ocean a bit further, we can actually place those ones. Okay, so I could have gone further backwards. You can basically do the same length that I have on the front here, on the back. But I don't think it's necessary. You don't really need it. One thing to keep in mind if you're playing on an official server or an unmodded server is you'll only be able to fit 88 structures on a raft. So be careful with how big you make it, because you'll use up those 88 slots really quickly. Okay, so the next part is the ramp, basically. Alright, it looks like I've gone just a touch too far forward with my first pillar. So try and bring it back a little bit more, and you should be able to get that to place there, but that's alright, we can get around that. If this would stop spazzing out. Okay, so for basically any dino that you can catch in one of these taming rafts will be trapped by a too high wall. So we're going to make our ramp too high, just using sloped roofs. That really bothers me, but fuck it, we can't do anything about it. I'm not pulling it down. Okay. And what you can use is actually door frames. I might get some of those. So instead of regular walls, you can use door frames, and that way you can go underneath the ramp and that sort of thing. So obviously you can customize this as much as you want. Make it look pretty. I'm just going to show you the basics. So we're going to get to this point here where this is where we drive from. And basically we don't want to be eaten. So the way we get around that is we build a box around ourselves. So if you use if you use door frames, the wrecks can actually bite you through the door frame. But if you use solid walls, I also forgot to tell you guys that for the raft we should, well, this center bit that we drive from, we should actually build a hatch frame, and it'll just protect the raft when we're trying to tame something, because if a Rex like bites through it or anything else, if something gets underneath it and they can bite the raft, they can destroy everything. So just build a hatch frame. Obviously you can't drive it like this, you will need to open the hatch frame first to drive it, but it's definitely worth putting it on there because it'll save your raft. And it looks like I can't get under there, that's fine, we can do it from this way. So I'm just going to build a wall down. This is to place the other hatch frame. So you need to go 2 down. Obviously you can't snap a ceiling or a hatch frame on the bottom of a wall. So you got to build another wall down so you can snap it to the top of that wall basically. And then we can remove this one. And as long as you keep that wall inside there, that'll be fine. And then that way you can still access your raft. Just like that. Okay, so realistically you only need 2 spaces to fit almost anything, or basically anything you can fit on the raft. You can tame in a 2 wide space, so you don't really need to go any further. Obviously you guys can design this however you want. I'm just showing you the basics. If you want to see some other designs, I've got quite a few in my remastered series, and they're pretty elaborate designs. If you want to check those out, you definitely can. Okay, and you know, like you could build door frames around here to protect you from other dinos while you're trying to trank the other one. You can build a landing pad on the roof for your pteranodon. There's lots of different things you can do. So let's go and test this thing. I'll see you guys when we're over at the volcano. You right there, you bastard? Okay, looks like we're going to take a scorpion with us. Okay, so you just want to make sure that the ramp is clipped into the ground. If there's any sort of lip, I mean, you know what the Rexes are like. They're terrible for getting clipped onto things. Hopefully we can find a Rex here. I really want to show you guys a Rex, because that's probably the hardest thing to fit on a taming raft. Like raptors and carnos and all that sort of thing, they're easy. Here we go, here's a Rex. Yes, come after me. No, don't get distracted by those fuckheads. Welcome to the Taming Raft. This is what it's like. So you just run in and then you can get through the gaps in the door basically. So he's now trapped. And we're safe in this little box. Trouble is, he's actually on the wrong side. If I try and turn out of this, I bet he's going to get glitched on the ground. I really need him on the other side. Might try and go this way. Oh, I think we got him. Oh, we got him. Alright, so we've caught a Rex. We can then go out to sea, and that way we don't attract any other bad guys while we're trying to tame this guy up. So yeah, the raft is fine. We've made everything out of stone so we can't damage anything, and we're safe in our little box. As long as you make this a fully enclosed box so you don't have any open windows or open doors, he won't be able to hurt you. It doesn't even matter if his head is like fully glitching through the wall or anything. Yeah, so then you could stand back here and knock him out. Obviously you can extend this part out further and build a little mobile base on it, have your flyer on it. Having a flyer on the Taming Raft is a very good idea because it's a lot easier to lure in a Rex while you're on a flyer, not to mention it's safer. But yeah, you can see he's nice and trapped in there. And yeah, then you would just knock him out. Tame him up and take him home. Alright, so that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you found it useful. Like I said, you can design them however you want, as long as you follow the basic principles of it. Yeah, you'll be fine. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to lead your targets. I'll see you next time.